He suggests going or he suggests to go. I enjoy working out or I enjoy to work out. Hello guys, welcome to Multilingual. To do or doing? That's the question of today's video. Some verbs must be followed by an infinitive, to do, and some must be followed by a gerund, doing. And today we're looking at some common verb patterns followed by a gerund, doing. And in my next video, we'll look at some verbs followed by an infinitive. If you are interested, please keep watching this video. Let's begin. Let's talk about the verbs followed by an ing form. In English grammar, it's called a gerund. So I've collected 12 verbs for you to keep in mind, and all of them are followed by a gerund. Imagine, admit and deny, mind, regret, recall, risk, keep, consider, suggest, enjoy, and avoid. Do you know some of them? Then you can use the timestamps in the description box and switch to the verb you're most interested in. If not, then let's begin with the first one. Our first verb is imagine. Imagine doing something. For example, can you imagine living without the internet? I can't. I simply can't imagine living without the internet. I can't imagine working without a computer or even managing my work without a smartphone. I can't imagine doing this. Can you imagine going to work by bike? For sure, I can imagine going to work by bike, and I do it regularly. Can you imagine living in another country? Yes, I definitely can. I can imagine living in Mexico one day. This country makes me quite curious. You see, with this verb, we always use a gerund. And now I have some questions for you. Can you answer these questions for yourself? Can you imagine living without the internet? Can you? Can you imagine going to work by bike? Can you imagine living in another country? Which one? Let me know. Our next verbs are admit and deny. If you admit something, that means that you agree that you've done something wrong. And if you deny something, that means that you disagree. They're kind of opposite, so I've decided to put them together. Here are Jack and Lucy, and they are siblings. So one of them has eaten all the chocolates. But Lucy admits eating just 2 chocolates, whereas Jack denies having a single one. What they've also done is that they have broken Mom's favorite vase. Jack denies breaking the vase. Lucy admits playing with the vase, but completely denies breaking it. So here is the question. Who has broken the vase? What do you think? I'll tell you the right answer at the end of this video. We use the verbs admit and deny with a gerund. Admit and deny doing something. Now let's move on to the next one. The next verb is to mind doing something. This verb is usually used in a question, do you mind? Or in a negative, I don't mind. Do you mind working on the weekend? It means, is it okay for you to work on the weekend? To me, it's not a problem, not at all. I don't mind working on the weekend. Do you mind having a dog in the house? I don't mind having a dog in the house as long as you keep it clean and tidy. We also use this pattern a lot if we want to ask for someone's permission, and we usually say, do you mind if? Do you mind if I switch the channel? I'm totally bored with this one. Do you mind if I come by a bit later? I still have to finish some paperwork. So how can you reply to this question? You can say, no, I don't, not at all, go ahead. One more interesting pattern for you to remember is, do you mind me doing something? It's the same like, do you mind if? Just a different verb pattern. Do you mind me wearing something casual for dinner tonight? Do you mind me cleaning the dishes later? Do you mind me telling him the truth? Again, you can answer not at all or no, I don't. But if you want to say the opposite, like you do mind it, then you would say, yes, I do. I don't want you to tell him the truth, for example. The next verb is to regret doing something. If you regret doing something, you feel sorry that you did it. I regret buying this jacket. I never wear it, actually. I regret talking to Anna about her son. She's angry with me now. I don't regret starting this YouTube channel. It's so much fun. It has been growing so fast. We regret moving house. Our new neighbors are so annoying. I regret eating so much at dinner. Now I feel sick to my stomach. Is there anything you regret doing? Let me know in the comments down below. To recall doing something means to remember what you did in the past. You meet someone new at your friend's party and you may say, I can't recall meeting you earlier. Are you Sarah's new friend? Or the police can ask you questions about the robbery in the neighborhood. Can you recall seeing something suspicious recently? You can say, I can't recall seeing a stranger in the night of the robbery. What also happens to me a lot is that I can't recall arranging appointments. That's why I have to put them down in my calendar. Do you have the same problem like me? Or as me? Like me? As me? There is another cool video of mine about like and as. Check it out. So this was the verb recall, doing something, and let's move on to the next one. To risk doing something. I mean, it's clear what it means, right? Of course, you can risk something, like I can't risk it. I can't risk the house, I can't risk the money, but you can also say that you risk doing something. For example, you have an important exam ahead and you say, I can't risk failing the exam. This exam is really important to me. Risk failing. The next verb is to keep doing something or keep on doing something. You can use it both ways. It means to continue doing something without stopping, or you do it repeatedly. Like, my parents keep helping me financially. She keeps talking even if no one is listening. Things can't keep going like this. We have to change something. Even if you make mistakes in an exam, keep talking. He keeps hoping that she will call him one day. Keep learning English if you really want to improve. To consider doing something, meaning to think whether to do it or not. For example, have you ever considered learning English in England or in the US? I considered traveling to an English-speaking country, but then the pandemic hit. We are considering moving house. I considered applying to university after school, but then I found a job. Have you ever considered moving to another country for good? Forever? Let me know in the comments down below. To suggest doing something, probably one of the most useful verbs that is often used with an infinitive, which is incorrect. You can say, I suggest doing, or I suggest that we do, but not I suggest to do. This is incorrect. I suggest meeting at 5. Joe suggests throwing a big party in the office. I want to take the highway, but my sat-nav suggests driving through the city. Suggest that is also possible. I suggest we wait a while before we make any decisions. There is no real proof, but the evidence suggests that he is guilty. I suggest that you leave a comment and put down your own example for you to practice. Let's move on to the next one. Enjoy doing something. The same is with love and like, and the opposites, hate and can't stand. They are all followed by a gerund. Tell me, do you enjoy working from home? I personally love it. I enjoy working from home with a cup of tea and in comfy slippers. I also enjoy traveling, even though I haven't traveled much for the past 2 years. You know why? And what about you? What do you enjoy and don't enjoy doing? Let me know. Our final verb for today is to avoid doing something. It means to stay away from something. Our downtown is so crowded on Saturdays, so I try to avoid going shopping there. If you want to lose weight, avoid eating sugar and white bread. Well, that's hard. My colleague and I have had a row recently. Now he avoids talking to me. I avoid buying groceries wrapped in plastic. I think it's harmful for the environment. And what about you? What do you avoid doing? Let me know. Those were 12 or even more helpful verbs that are always followed by a gerund, not an infinitive. In my next video, you'll learn verbs that are followed by an infinitive, and then we'll have a quiz to check your understanding. But what about our siblings I mentioned with the verbs admit and deny? Who has broken the mama's favorite vase? Neither Jack nor Lucy, it was their cat, Jimmy. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I also hope to see you in my next one next week. Bye guys.